We continue our segment about exploring the business environment in the Philippines in partnership with the Oxford Business Group. This time we discuss challenges facing the business process outsourcing industry. Here's Patrick Cooke, Regional Director for Asia of Oxford, with Lito Tayag, the Chairman of the IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines.
Hello and welcome to OBG Talk, produced in partnership with the ABS-CBN News Channel. I'm Patrick Cooke, Oxford Business Group's Regional Editor for Asia. Today we're going to talk about the future of the business process outsourcing industry as it faces challenges from advancements in technology and also the proposed rationalization of incentives under the government's tax reform program.
The IT and business process outsourcing industry is a lucrative creator of high-value jobs and foreign exchange earnings in the Philippines, comprising 8 to 9% of GDP in 2017 and generating revenues of $24.5 billion last year. The Philippines has established itself as a global leader in this sector, thanks in large part to the availability of a skilled, flexible, and English-speaking workforce. However, the country's competitive advantages are under threat from advancements in artificial intelligence and automation. This could erode the need for human interaction and create new demands for highly specialized positions. At the same time, some fear that the proposed rationalization of incentives for companies based in economic zones and under the second phase of the government's tax reform agenda could curtail investments from international companies looking to establish or expand operations in the Philippines. Is the industry adequately prepared for these challenges?
Joining me to offer his expert insights on this hot topic is Lito Tayag, Chairman of IBPAP, the IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines. Lito, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me today, Patrick.
I want to start just by setting the scene. Can you give us a sense of the importance of the BPO industry for the Philippine economy?
The IT-BPM industry is one of the major contributors in the Philippine economy. We're one of the biggest creators of jobs. Today, there are 1.15 million people in this industry, and our study confirmed there's a multiplier effect on the other industries supporting this, including those from the real estate, transportation, and the food business. We're one of the biggest earners of foreign currency, probably second only to the overseas Filipino workers. We're one of the major engines of growth in the countryside, where today there are more than 250,000 people in our industry across 23 different provinces. And we're one of the major engines of bringing people to the middle class, where many of our people are actually starting from the lower class and recruited from the state universities and colleges.
So let's talk a bit about the future. To what extent are BPO operators here in the Philippines prepared for the opportunities and the challenges that comes with artificial intelligence and other related technological advancements?
Sure. There's been a lot of discussions around the impact of artificial intelligence and technology in the way that the world works and lives. And that is particularly important as well in our particular industry. Sure, there's a lot of challenges that we face that is related to this. Some of the work that we do, especially those at the lower level, are at risk of getting automated. But at the same time, we also see this as an opportunity. There are new jobs that are going to be created that we probably don't know even at this point. But there are many studies that confirm that there are going to be net new jobs as we go through the digital transformation. It is very important to understand that there's going to be changes in the way that we work today. So it has to be a conscious effort on our part, especially in our people, to upskill because of the changes brought about by technology.
So how do you assess it in terms of looking at the BPO companies here? To what extent are they investing in technology and AI compared to the investments that they're making in human resource development?
The investments in AI go hand in hand with investment in human development. For one, we are creating new tools for our clients, for example, in order to leverage these new developments. But at the same time, these new tools require new sets of skills in order to use them for our clients. So we as well need to make that kind of investment for our own people in order for them to be ready and to thrive in this new and digital age.
People often think of the call center segment when they think of BPO. How important do you think this human interaction element will be in the industry going forward?
It is very important. Again, as we move forward in this digital age, there is going to be a reshaping of the way that we work in this industry. There's going to be the machines who will be working side by side with humans. And so this is an important component of our upskilling of the people, including those in the call center industry.
So if we're looking at the human capital development, let's look at it from an education level. To what extent do you think the curriculum in schools and the courses available at university level are adequate to prepare Filipinos for this rapidly evolving job market?
Historically, we've been able to get a lot of our talent coming from the universities. What is important as we move forward in this new development is that we need to infuse some of the skills that are needed in this industry that we have today. So the more that it is important for us to collaborate with the academe and the government in order for us to prepare the workforce of our future.
Is that happening at the moment? Where would you like to see greater collaboration between BPO operators and education stakeholders?
Yes, there have been a lot of collaboration actually in the past. Just as a clear example, we have been able to roll out the service management program that was designed by IBPAP into the state universities and colleges. Now, we need more of this type of collaboration. I think we also need to strengthen the on-the-job training where we have, in partnership with the universities, bringing as many of the students into our industry early on in their studies. That way, number one, we get to influence at least, what are the important aspects of the type of skills that we need for this industry. And second, the students as well will have some visibility on what are necessary skills for them to be successful in the IT-BPM industry.
I want to touch on the tax reform agenda. Obviously, this is a hot topic in the Philippines, ongoing at the moment. The second wave of the government's tax reform, known as Trabajo here locally, is proposing to rationalize the incentives for companies in economic zones, PEZA zones. How do you think this will impact investment and growth in the BPO sector?
Sure. The incentives early on have all been a major factor in the success of this industry. They have allowed us to become very competitive globally. Now, as these incentives become rationalized, we run the risk of becoming less competitive globally. So we are asking the government to seriously consider about continue to extend the incentives for this industry in order for us to continue to realize our aspirations for growth.
So do they continue to be a very important component of the cost competitiveness of BPO operators? Even now, they've been operating for a long time?
Absolutely. Again, because the competition is outside of the Philippines, and the competition, the other countries are also providing similar, if not better, incentives.
Okay. And the House bill was passed in September. I think it earmarked 25 billion pesos for the Philippine BPO industry. This is supposed to be used for skills development, I believe. Is this an adequate amount?
Well, this is supposed to be an added amount on top of the current incentives that we have. I just wanted to clarify that this will have to be on top of the current incentives that we have because they're addressing two different things. On one hand, the incentives are addressing the competitiveness of the Philippines as an outsourcing destination. This amount will go around what we have just been talking about in terms of upskilling the people in this industry so that we will be able to face the challenges of digital transformation.
Let's imagine that the incentives are rationalized. What possible measures could be introduced to offset the impact on the BPO industry?
Well, first of all, the incentives are a major factor and enabler for the continued growth of this industry. If the incentives are removed, they will have profound impact on the competitiveness of this industry and of the Philippines as an outsourcing destination. So we hope that the incentives are not going to be removed, or at the very least, they will be extended in terms of the sunset provisions.
Okay, so let's finish with an outlook then. I mean, taking into account the rapid developments in technology, the current business climate, and proposed changes to the business climate, if you look into your crystal ball, I mean, do you see the BPO sector remaining a very high-value job-creating industry for the Philippines going forward?
I will not attempt to look at it and speculate what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years, but this is quite clear to me. Number one, we need to address the challenges of digital transformation by upskilling the talent pool that we have today. And that is where we need the help of the government and the academe. But number two, we also need to make sure that we keep the Philippines as a competitive outsourcing destination. And that is where the incentives play a big role. With all of those enabling conditions in place, we believe that we could continue to grow and contribute to the overall economy of the Philippines.
Mr. Tayag, thank you very much for your insight today. We really appreciate it. And that's all for today's edition of OBG Talk, produced in partnership with the ABS-CBN News Channel. I'm Patrick Cooke, and thanks for watching.